from good friends and true, from old friends and new. May good luck go with you, and happiness too. Happy birthday, Alice!
Hi, Mama. It's me, Julie Tamar Cohn-Starr, your eldest child. And I wanted to take a moment to share some of my favorite photographs that I have of you with you and describe what I love about them. Happy 75th birthday to my mama. I love you. Here's a picture Grandpa Sam took of you when you were a little girl. I have carried this picture with me my entire adult life. I always have it framed and nearby. I love thinking about the fact that Grandpa took such good care of you and put your hair in a bow and brushed it for you. It looks like you're reading the funny papers, and I see a lot of Theodora in your face, and I think you were a beautiful girl, and you're still a beautiful woman. This is a picture of you and me. It is so beautiful. I can't believe the way the light hits your face and my face. It really shows Grandpa's artistry as a photographer. I think it's probably around the time that you had left my father, and I think the photo is kind of sad. You look sad and a little bit lost, but like always, you pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. You have been such a strong person in my life. You're such a strong person. And you went on to have 2 more fantastic children. And you were just such a young girl here. I mean, you were probably in your late 20s. I just think it's fascinating and kind of amazing. This is another photograph that has been with me everywhere I go, and I cherish it.
Alice and I have traveled the world together. London, Florence, Rome, Stockholm, so many others, so many stories. But back in Woodstock, back many years ago, Amy and I rented a house from the Youngs just off Route 375. We would drive past the Green, up Rock City Road, past Glasgow Turnpike, and turn left on Shotwell Road. There, behind Alice's house, I grew a garden. My first vegetable garden. The only vegetable garden I ever had. And it happened in Alice's backyard. In my garden I grew tomatoes, squash, and I grew corn. The most delicious corn I ever had. And it happened in Alice's backyard. Then, just a year later, I got married. The only marriage I ever had. And it happened in Alice's backyard. We signed our ketubah not in the backyard, in Alice's living room. But the chuppah, the marriage, it all happened in Alice's backyard. And here is Jeremy. Cute Jeremy. He's cute now as he was then. And here, well, my wife has her first precoital headache, is Alice. The ever young Alice. Always beautiful, always generous, always fun. My Alice.
Hey Alice, Dana here. I can't think of a more appropriate place to wish you a happy 75th than a tennis court. It's meant so much to me to have you in my tennis life, and I'm so grateful for all your willingness to schedule and to captain and to bring your enthusiasm to the game. And what's remarkable about that is I know this isn't the only thing you do. You wear a lot of hats. Let's see. Wife, mother, grandmother, writer, world traveler, arts aficionado, donor to cultural causes and good causes. Anyway, you have a wonderful and full life, and I wish you many, many more years of happiness and health. Mwah.
Happy 75th birthday, Alice. We love you.
Okay, Alice, so first of all, how many of your friends would come back early from Florida just to celebrate the birthday with you? But I would come for you. You're a great friend. You're an honest person, and I love that we share the same name. Happy birthday.
A poem for Alice. Today is the birthday of Alice.
Her mighty
mighty
75th. Excitement surrounds, fun abounds.
For so many of her kin and kith.
Isn't it kith and kin?
No, it has to rhyme.
Ooh. But first we should speak of rhyming. Very boring, to be sure.
For Alice only has 2 proper rhymes, and neither is nice to her.
So here are some thoughts about Alice.
For we both do know her well. She really is such a shy little thing, with never an opinion to tell.
She loves to stay home and cook and clean. In public, she is demure. As a wife and mother, there is no other as docile and pliant as her.
Wait a minute.
This is not Alice at all.
She has spunk and talks smart,
and she walks the walk, and a voice that is never small. Well, Alice forever is traveling, from here and there to gain wealth. She works very hard on many a trip.
And she's a bit of a trip herself. As pleasure rhymes with treasure, and fun is a friend of pun.
There is gusto and laughter and ever after, and now our poem is done. So here is a toast to Alice.
A hug and a shout and a cheer.
For the many times we have spent together, and another Happy New Year. We send you love from Bill and Mary Claire.
Hi, Alice. It's Alice. Thank you for including us in this celebration. I'm so excited. So many years ago, when Naomi said I had to meet her friend because we would really like each other and we were exactly alike. We had the same name, almost, and we did the same work, almost, and we came from the same state, really, and that we would like each other. And then we met, and I so am happy about that because I so like you, and I hope we like each other. And I admire your zest for life and your ferocious intelligence and your capacity for adventure and love. It's wonderful. And I hope I am just like you. Happy birthday.
Alice Bonnie Goodman. She's bright, she's witty, and she's hysterically funny. She's my mom. Mom, I want to thank you for being so loving and caring and supportive. You've been nothing but a bright light in my life. I hope that I can be the same for you, and I look forward to many more journeys together. Cheers and love to you.
It's a big one, Alice. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alice. This is for you. Oops. Sorry. Here we go. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you. And again, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alice.
Happy birthday, Alice.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
To
birthday, Alice. I am so glad that you came into my life when I was 13 years old and that you brought Jeremy and Rebecca and Julie into my life. I love you all so much. And Alice, I just want you to know that when you showed up in Woodstock, I'd never met anyone like you. You were the most vivacious and stylish mother of three that I'd ever met, and you were a liberated woman, and you have been a role model to me my whole life. And there's so many stories I could tell about how caring and generous you were with me, and what a great friend you've been. I love you so much. Thank you, and happy birthday.
Hi, Auntie Al.
Hi,
Happy
Alice.
birthday.
Happy 75th birthday.
So we're here to reminisce about a few things. This is Hudson and this is Maximus. My special story about Alice is when I was going to do summer school at Harvard with my best friend Netta, and we were driving and we were late and lost. And by the time we got to the school, they wouldn't let us check in because it was too late, and they told us we had to come back tomorrow. And we were panicking because we were about 19 and in Boston, and we didn't know what to do. And we pulled over to the side of the road to try to figure out where we were going to go and for the night. And all of a sudden, we're standing there, and we see Alice and David. I'm not sure if they were already pulled over, but she was like, Gabby. And there they saved us in the middle of Boston, and Netto's mind was blown because she didn't know about all the degrees of Patricia Mitchell.
Ow!
And it was great. They took care of us, and they helped us get to another friend's house to spend the night, and then they went on their way, and it was just a great feeling. All right, little babe, what's your story?
I don't have any specific memories. I just always remember Auntie Al being around, and you took me to piano, and you babysat me one weekend when I made a couple new friends, and they thought you were my mom. And we've just always been very good friends and also relatives.
Love you. Happy birthday.
Love you. Have a great time at your party.
This is a wonderful story that I'd like to share. Took place in Venice, Italy. Alice had a conference on one of the islands off the coast of Venice, and she invited me to go to Venice for a week. We lived in a tiny little room with two beds. We called it the shoebox. During the day, Alice would go off to the conference, and sometimes I even went to the conference because the subject was schizophrenia, which is also a subject that has influenced my life tremendously. So it was during the Jewish holidays, Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. There were no meetings. I don't know if there were meetings or not, but the night before Erev, we go to the ghetto, the Jewish ghetto in Venice, and we go to the synagogue together. We walk into the synagogue and we're directed right upstairs because women cannot be on the main floor of an Orthodox synagogue. There was very high security that checked all our pocketbooks. We get to our seats, and we really can't see anything, and we don't feel really part of the whole event or anything. But Alice, in her own inimicable way, found somebody that knew someone that she knew. And that was funny because here we are in Venice, Italy. So we sat and chatted the entire time during the Yom Kippur service. The next day, during Yom Kippur, people fast. So usually, traditionally, I follow that observancy and I fast. But instead of fasting on that day, we went to another island where we had the biggest, most delicious spread. And we drank wine, got high, had fun, laughed, and ate. And I'll never forget that day because it was highly unusual for me to eat on Yom Kippur, and because I was having the time of my life. So that's the story that I wanted to tell. I wish you a happy birthday, Alice. I have many more stories, but that is one of my favorite. May you have long life and happiness and continue with all the great energy you have and enjoy your life. I love you, Patricia.
Happy birthday, Auntie A. Happy birthday, Auntie A.
Happy birthday, Auntie A. Happy birthday to you. We love you, love you, love you. Happy birthday. We wish we were there. 75. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Happy birthday, Alice. Happy birthday.
Well, I was going to say my first memory of Alice, just the very first memory, is how, with extraordinary aplomb, without any realization of how strange it was, she was giving us extremely up-to-date medical advice about what goes on in the gut for those of us who had some stomach distress. And when I asked her how she had managed to know something that was so up-to-date, she said she had just been to a scientific conference that she was reporting on, and one of the speakers had given this information. That's how she was so up-to-date.
Well, let me just say, Stuart, that was probably about 5 years ago. But we first actually met Alice about 30 or 40 years ago, because Stu and I and Pop rented Alice's house on Hutching Hill Road for the month of August. I think it was the year that, what's his name? Elvis Presley died. And so we rented that house. And that's my first memory of Alice. And then after that, we didn't see Alice again for decades.
You know, my memory of that very first house is that Alice was very unimpressed with the fact that we rented their house thinking we were getting a swimming pool that the kids could use. The swimming pool never worked. And
oh, Stu, this
that's my first memory.
An upbeat kind of video.
Well, a more upbeat maybe is Alice did some reviews of some stories I wrote, and the thing that impressed me most was she did it instantly. I mean, I sent it to her, and almost immediately I got back a long, detailed analysis, extremely helpful and extremely rapidly done with a great deal of self-confidence. And that, too, was very impressive to me.
Well, let me say, I know Alice from a different perspective. I know Alice as a friend and as a tennis player. I know her as a friend in Woodstock and also in San Miguel. And in both places, we're friends and we're tennis players. And Alice is very, very assiduous and very hardworking, and she arranges all the contracts. Gracie, you're in the way. And so it's always a shoo-in because Alice has already sorted it out for us. And we're duly grateful, but it's a lot of work and we really appreciate it. So that's a very fine thing that Alice does. As a friend, what would I say about Alice as a friend? Alice is a very interesting kind of friend. This may have to be
one of our most direct friends, I would say. If you ask her something, you just get a straight answer right away.
Alice is an interesting person because she's a mixture of compassion and toughness in some kind of way. Am I right in saying Alice is tough?
I would say that of all my friends, I can't think of any that are tougher than Alice or more straightforward in where she's at all the time. Good and bad, you know the exact truth right away.
The first time I saw Alice, she came zipping into our driveway with all the windows down and her elbow out the window and her hair cut super short. And I remember that she was so happy with her haircut, and she was saying, "It feels so free." And I had never seen anyone like her. She was really somebody totally new on the scene. She was stylish and vivacious, and she was liberated. She was a mother of 3 children under 7 years old, and she carried that responsibility with so much joy and lightness of heart and adoration of her children, of course, because Julie and Rebecca and Jeremy were the most adorable children. I can tell you that it was a total pleasure every second of being with them. And I was lucky enough to be their babysitter. And somehow Alice had the time to care about shy, tongue-tied 13-year-old me. And I have so many stories about how generous and thoughtful she was. But one thing I remember is that she actually had the time to volunteer at my school and teach me and my friends a course on women writers. And we read Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison, Alice Cates Shulman, Sylvia Plath. Alice introduced us to women writers and got us thinking about what it means to be a woman in our society. And one time I had the notion that I cannot explain now,
that I had to have a blue jean purse, a pocketbook sewed out of old blue jeans, and I begged my mother to help me sew this, and she wouldn't. And I don't think any other adult would have understood this, but somehow Alice understood that I needed this purse, and she declared that she was going to help me and sew it for me. A friend of hers said, "Alice, forget it. You don't have time for that. Don't be ridiculous." But Alice said, "No, I'm going to help you make this purse." And she did. And it was a beautiful purse. And there are so many ways that Alice was aware of me and thinking of me, even though she had so much else on her mind. And I've been blessed to have her as a role model my whole life. And Alice, I love you so much. I wish you the happiest birthday ever. And I'm so grateful to you for bringing Julie and Rebecca and Jeremy into my life too. I love you all. Happy birthday, Alice.
Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you.
And I'm your best friend. Bye. See you in 2 weeks.
Alice, have a wonderful birthday year. I can't believe you're 75. I hope that when I'm your age, I am as physically fit and as mentally healthy as you are. And say something. You can say something. I just hope you have a wonderful year. Happy 75th, sweet Auntie Alice.
Hi, I'm Lila, and I want to wish you a happy birthday. And you're really nice.
Bye.
Hi, Alice. Happy birthday, Alice. So I'm going to read something that I wrote for you. So, Alice, while we met during the early years of the Children's Annex and the Children's Center, our friendship truly developed in 1998 when I was ill with the recurrence of breast cancer. While some friends found it difficult to be close during that time, you, Alice, were generous with your medical knowledge and offered me both support and compassion. Fast forward a couple of decades. I love our friendship. You always show an interest in what's happening in my life. You ask great questions, and you certainly offer your opinion. You're a giver, not a taker, with an energetic spirit and a dry sense of humor. I love laughing with you, Alice. Alice, you're loyal, honest, and real. You're a great friend, and I can be honest with you. A friend who brightens my life whenever we're together. Let's plan another trip to Barcelona. Whoops, another trip to San Francisco, although we could also go to Barcelona. And let's have a glass of wine together late at night. I love hearing about your parenting and your grandparenting activities and recognize and respect and appreciate your strong and loving commitment to your family. And because I believe you are true to yourself, Alice, you have generosity and love to give to your friends. Authentic Alice. Authentic Alice, you're my friend. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you. Love you.
Do it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope we can celebrate with you. Lampshade. Many more. Love you. Love you. Love you.
I'm Bob Greenwood, and I like to consider myself a good friend of Alice Goodman. But now I have to report and get on record as a whistleblower because it's been put forward that she is 75 years old, and that's obviously a fraud on the public. We all know that she's too full of piss and vinegar to be 75 years old. She works full time, she travels around the world, she's got a large social life, and she's on the tennis court 363 days a year. Completely inconsistent with the person being 75 years of age. So I was just anxious, felt compelled to set the record straight. But I do have to admit to a little hostility because try as I might, I can't break into one of her many tennis groups. Nevertheless, I'm going to wish you, Alice, a happy birthday for whatever birthday it really is.
Happy 75th birthday, Grandma. We love you. Mwah.
Hi, Alice. This is David. I want to wish you a very, very... 1 second. Could that be you on the telephone also, Alice? I don't know what to say, except that really... Oh, and is that you at the driveway? What is going... I know what it is. It's you, always being in touch, always being considerate, and always being sweet, being friends with Patricia. I like that most of all. Happy birthday, Alice.
I and Alice flew to Dallas in circa 82. A drug rep called us Frick and Frack, spotting a friendship true. Yeah, Frick and Frack go way back to when our sons were 3. We've walked the walk and talked the talk, my pal Frick and me. Even when we bicker, we trust we'll come to terms, 'cause after nearly 40 years, we know our friendship's firm. If the trails we've walked could talk, some mighty tales they'd tell. But each knows the other has her back. That's how it is with Frick and Frack. And now dear Alice is 75, as alive as in earlier years. Cute and spunky, serious, funky, ready for fun or tears. Whenever I want to laugh at life, I cast my thoughts her way. No question about it. Our duo is here to stay. Happy birthday, dear Alice.
Happy birthday, dear Alice.
We love you.
We love you true.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you.
So Alice, this one was 5 years old when we first met. And now she's 2.5 years old. She's the little granddaughter over here. And we know each other a really long time. We were walking in the streets of Jerusalem together looking for pottery. John was 5 and he was a brat and crying when we would try to get together and just have a good time. And Alice, I remember saying, Carol, always. So Alice, we love you and happy birthday and many, many more.
Love you, Alice. Happy birthday, Alice.
Happy birthday. Hey, Alice. And hello, Alice's Fan Club. This is Caroline from New Orleans. Alice, you know, I wish I could be there with you. I'm so sorry I'm not. I'm happy David gave me the opportunity to share some things about you that maybe other people don't really know, a side of you that perhaps just I have seen and maybe Ted and David. And that is Alice Bonnie Goodman, medical writer par excellence. Take a look.
Okay, we'll go over there for that question and we'll follow up over here.
Okay, Alice Goodman with the ASCO Post. So as you just said, these are women with DCIS. I mean, it's considered stage 0 cancer, and for a long time it wasn't even considered cancer. And so I'm wondering, is there any way, it's such a small absolute benefit, isn't it? How many cancers are prevented? I mean, isn't it very small?
Very small, and again, you saw it was a composite endpoint. So we would have had to have a trial with many more thousands of women to just have invasive cancer be an endpoint. So it is a composite. And again, getting back to the potential for over-treatment of a lot of these early stage patients, we need to figure out and be smarter about which DCISs can have very minimal treatment and which need the whole 9 yards.
And where is the research on that subject of which DCIS patients would progress? Because to me it seems taking these drugs, if you're 68 and you have a small DCIS, that's HR, I mean, do you do
Well,
HR?
We have other trials done by the NSABP that show the incremental benefit of adding tamoxifen to radiotherapy and lumpectomy. So there is additional benefit. The question is, who is the woman who's most likely to benefit?
progress.
And again, I think conceptually how things have changed is when we started this trial, it was considered to be a cancer treatment trial. As things evolved, this became a prevention trial. So we're really thinking about breast cancer prevention, just like you would do in a high-risk woman with atypical ductal hyperplasia or lobular carcinoma in situ. And so I think these data are very comparable to what you could think of as a prevention study.
Thank you.
Okay, so Alice, I wish I could see your reaction to that little clip, huh? Sneaky, right? Well, I just want to say that I want to tell everybody that's there that Alice is so well respected in the work that she does. She's great at it, and she's taught me and a lot of other people an awful lot. So Alice, I just want to tell you as a friend, you're my best friend. You've been with me through good times and bad. We've done a lot of shopping together, a lot of eating and drinking together, a lot of working together, and my life is so much fuller professionally and personally because of your friendship. I love you. I wish you 75 more great years. Your friend, Caroline.
Hi, Alice. Good morning. It's Sarah Kay and Stan. We're wishing you a very, very happy birthday. We're sorry we can't be with you, but it's the same weekend that our children are coming in to celebrate my birthday. But we'll be there in spirit. I've always enjoyed it when you've come in. I enjoyed having dinner with you and David, and I hope we can do it soon.
Again, happy birthday, Alice. I'll never forget meeting you at Skidmore, and you were just always such a special friend and a free spirit, well ahead of your time, and you always had the gift of seeing in people and understanding people from the inside out. Actually, I think you appreciate always those of us, not just who live above the Mason-Dixon line, but who were raised below it. I know that your wonderful mentor, Miriam Benkovitz, inspired you, and she was named 2 years before she retired from Skidmore Outstanding Educator in America, or one of them. Well, you're the outstanding friend to so many of us. You're loyal, and you're sincere, and you're there. And it just means so much through the years. Our relationship has been so important to me, perhaps more of a touchstone than you even realize. We are really so sorry not to be with you in person, but you know we're with you in spirit, and you know forever our relationship is one that I think of as to be continued. Well, what we're going to do now is what we only do for our children and grandchildren, and we're going to make complete fools of ourselves. We've done it only for one other friend, so here we go. 2, 3.
To you, dear Alice, we'll sing-a-ling-a-ling with all our hearts anew. We hope there'll be some sing-a-ling-a-ling that we can do for you in summer, winter, spring-a-ling-a-ling, and all the whole year through. We'll sing-a-ling-a-ling and cling-a-ling-a-ling and ding-a-ling-a-ling for you.
Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy 75th. It seemed so old when we were young, and now so young that we're older. To be continued. Love from Sarah Kay and Stan.
Bye-bye.
Wow, 75. But still sprightly, energetic, and very much alive. We are so excited to celebrate you on this day. I'm not sure where to start. There's so much to say. You have taught me to help people when they are down on their luck, to be generous, compassionate, and most importantly, kind. You are funny, high-spirited, and have a very complex mind. You have imparted your love of museums, travel, opera, and books. You are courageous, brave, and true to yourself. Stand up for what you believe in, work hard, and do what you love in this life. Be loyal to your friends, let go of things. Don't hold on to grudges. None of that matters in the end. If something isn't working, change it, you say. I try to remember all of these things to this very day so that my daughters will know them and live their lives in this way.
Mm-hmm. Grandma, you love us, you're funny, make us laugh, and watch our performances. You let us make jewelry and give us jelly beans from yourself. Grandma, what we are trying to say is that you really outdone yourself. Wink, wink.
We love you so much.
Happy birthday and a happy new year.